was just dead silence in the living room, and my mum came in and I was just like, can you not? And then she left, and then she left. And then David, he just, I don't think I've ever heard him apologize to me, but he said, I don't know what else to say, but I'm sorry. And that was like the best thing that happened to me this whole year. And then we just hugged each other in the living room. I think Countdown was on mute in the background. Okay, so, wait, is he here? How many of you guys know David Stout? You, the whole room? Okay. Is he here? No. Okay. How many of you guys got to know David Stout in the past 9 months or so? Well. So, okay, most of that number. Okay. So, yeah, David Stout is without a doubt one of my closest friends. He's actually one of the best things that's ever happened to me in my life. He introduced me to the thing I love the most, which is cycling. I'm most passionate about it. I do it every day now. And I do it every day trying to get the feeling of when I first rode bikes with him, like that first day. Every day when I'm cycling on my own, I try and get that feeling again. So, yeah, I was going to, at this point, make a comment about how ridiculously handsome he is, but he's not in the room, so it's a bit... But he just seems to get more handsome day by day. Like, I tell him, what are you doing? Like, what are you eating? But like, we used to play hide and seek when we were like 10 in this building, thanks to Gabe, on Sundays when we were younger. And I still remember this time annual gathering when I was like 13, David Stout was 12, my brother was like 11. And like, I was making David Stout crack up so much, you don't understand. Like, David Stout cracks up at quite a few of my jokes. Like, if he doesn't laugh at my joke, then like, that was a bad joke. So like, I was making him laugh so much. And then I remember on the way back home after annual gathering, David was really upset. He was really jealous. He said, like, why are you stealing my best friend away from me? And I explained to him that it wasn't like that. He'll always be your best friend. But I just remember the funny time. David Stout and David Pro didn't even remember that. But I just really admire their family as well as a whole. Yeah, I love them a lot. It's actually quite a sad story because even though I've known David for so long, yeah, I haven't always like been there for him. Like, his parents got divorced when he was in his early teens. And I feel like he struggled a lot, like he hated school. And he was like the naughtiest guy in the school, let alone like in the church, like in the school. Where are you looking? I just feel like he was really easily influenced by people around him as well. Like, if he was around good people, then he'd be really good, and then if he was around his school friends which weren't so good, he'd be not so good. In fact, go completely in the wrong direction. So he picked up like a lot of bad habits when he was like 15, 16. And he started smoking and drinking. And I generally feel like he was really distant from the church. And that really hurt me because I was so involved in the church, but my close friend who was also in the church just completely disconnected from God, disconnected from his family, disconnected from everything. There was one point when the only connection he had to the church was me and David. There was one point when it was like that. remember one year trying to convince him to go to a HARP workshop, and he was just like, nah, can't be bothered. Don't think I want to do that kind of thing. He's the kind of person I would never talk about God to, because I felt like it would make him feel uncomfortable. Do you have friends like that? You just don't want to talk about deeper things with because you feel like they're not concerning themselves with that kind of thing. So you don't want to make them feel uncomfortable or uneasy. But 8 months ago, roughly 8 months ago, he messaged me on WhatsApp. This guy is the reason, on my most used icons, it's all hearts and blow kisses and stuff. That is the reason for that. Yeah, he messaged me on WhatsApp and he just said, I've had enough. I'm not doing this anymore. He said, I'm doing a 7-day fast. He's never done a condition in his life. Never done a condition in his life. I don't think he's probably ever prayed properly before in his life, ever. And he said, Michael, I'm doing a 7-day fast. Do you have any advice? Do you have any advice? Because I did it just before then. This was completely out of character. You don't understand how out of character it was. I'm confident in saying that 7-day fast was the best thing he ever did in his life up to this point. He completely turned his life upside down, has a really strong relationship with God. He loves the church so much now, loves BC so much. He organises brothers' purity talks and really wants to help younger second gen to be good people. And he always comes up to me and asks things like, how can I love my enemies? How can I become a perfect person? And he comes up to me and asks me that. And he always... And he always tells me that he wants to be a good person for his future wife. I mean, this is the guy that I felt uncomfortable paying for dinner around because I didn't want to embarrass him. But like a few weeks ago, we were doing something, like getting ready to go somewhere, and I told David, like, I have a problem or something, and he was just like, I think we should pray about it. It's just like, I don't know if David can realise that, like how weird it is, because he's living his life, right? And I don't know, many of you don't know him for so long. But for me, seeing that compared to before is just like crazy. It's remarkable. He would never say that before, ever, in his life. He would never say that. If you told me he'd say that, I would think you were joking. Like, they would be fasting today. Yeah, there is fasting today. You fast every Sunday. He's doing so many conditions just to try and get closer and closer to God, to try and find God. And like, I'm not worried about him now because I know he has a good conscience now. He has really good motivations. I can relax with David's now. This is a guy that used to not sing holy songs at church. He has a verse from Song of the Garden as his status on WhatsApp now. Like, what the hell? Let's sing that verse. All right, everyone join me in singing. I'm going to lead you. I promise you're going to join in. Our troubles and our trials here will only make us richer there. When we arrive at home, when we arrive at home, our troubles and our trials here will only make us richer there. When we arrive at home, when we arrive at home. Recently I had the opportunity to tell David how proud I was of him. On the way back from a recent trip to the Isle of Wight, we were coming back and we were in Queensway. Well, actually, before that, we were in the toilet downstairs. Just, next to each other. It wasn't like that. We were washing our hands. So I said to David, do you know how much you've grown recently? And I still remember, he said, what do you mean? Because I sure as hell didn't mean physically. Come on. He said, what do you mean? And I've come to realize that people say, what do you mean, when you say something deep to them, to just double check that you're being sincere. They always go, when you say, you're really beautiful, what do you mean? It's a chance for you to commit to being sincere to them. And it's a chance for you to be really, you're a really beautiful person. I really feel like you're a really beautiful person, I can see it. So people kind of have these mechanisms to protect themselves. So he said, what do you mean? Just in case I was joking around or something. And I said, in the past 6 months, you've grown so much physically and spiritually. You've grown so much spiritually. And I'm just really proud of you. You inspire me. And the smile I got from his face, everyone looking at him right now, I want to see him smile. The most handsome guy in this room. So after that, we were walking down Queensway, about to go home, and he was just asking me, hey Michael, how do you open up to people? I kind of struggle. How do you properly open up to people? I kind of have a problem with being a genuine person. How do you really just express your heart with someone and for it not to feel awkward? I think the answer is just, you don't care if it feels awkward. You just, even in that bathroom, it was the most awkward thing. There was a third guy in that bathroom. I think we leant in for a hug and then he walked past. You just don't mind, and then once you don't mind, it just becomes comfortable. And I told him, and then he just opened up to me and said that I've always looked at David, my younger brother. I could be he's like a younger brother to me. But with you, I feel like you can be an older brother to me. I feel like a younger brother to you. And when he said that, I was just completely struck in the deepest depths of my heart, in the middle of central London. And crossing the road, I just broke down in tears, uncontrollably. And we were just crying and hugging each other in the middle of Queensway, one of the busiest parts of London. Double-decker buses going past left, right and centre. People coming home from work. And we were just hugging each other. And it just felt genuine. It felt like what every relationship, it felt like what I want every relationship to be like. And then it started crying, it started raining. Anyway, it was really, a surreal kind of moment for me. So I feel like that's what a genuine relationship really is. It's like being able to do something like that together. So just like with me and David, we both kind of had like good feelings, kind things that we wanted to express with each other, but we didn't for a long time. So like, yeah. I just want to end by saying, please share your hearts with each other. Please trust each other. And trust me, you care about each other more than you realize. Thank you.
Reflection. Thank you, Mikhail. I could really feel your heart and sincerity, and that was emotional. Can we have one more round of applause? Please rise and invite the band up for our offering song.
Okay, before our offering song, I just want to give a quick announcement. So this weekend is the Weights Kickoff Workshop for this new academic year. I don't have the full details. There's an event on Facebook that you can ask me. I'll try to find out more details for you. It's here in Lancaster Gate, and there's also a party going on Saturday for those who know whose party it is. I just want to confirm from Uncle Marshall that you can. That Saturday evening is going to be left. That if you want to leave to go to the party, you can go and then come back to the workshop and sleep in Lancaster Gate and join the workshop again. So if you do want to attend both, yes, so that's nice.
please join me in offering prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you so much that we can all gather today and be with each other and enjoy each other's presence. I thank you that we could receive such an amazing sermon by Mikhail. I really hope that we can really take something from it and apply it to our relationships and really make them genuine and really understand the meaning of brothers and sisters in love and just really be there for each other. And, I pray that you may accept this money that we've sacrificed. This I pray in my name, just in my presence.
Seated. So that's the end of our HARP service. Can we give a big thank you to the sound team and the band?